Hey everyone, nice to be here. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Tim. I'm a creative coding educator. And in this video, I would like to invite you to listen to a discussion that I had with my friend, Stig Møller Hansen. So if there's someone in Europe who's really an expert in creative coding education for graphic designers, this is Stig. Stig wrote his dissertation he's from Denmark, and he wrote his dissertation about educating graphic designers in creative coding, which comes with several hurdles. That's what I've experienced in 9 seminars on various universities, quite a few workshops in European institutions, and I learned that this is really a tough thing, right? It's really tough to confront people with programming. Mostly they have to overcome specific obstacles also in their thinking to get a chance to get into programming. And this is super interesting. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really like Stig. He's also an amazing person. I love our conversations so much. And this time he brought a presentation made with Keynote with dozens of memes and images that should trigger specific discussions. That was a very creative way of doing this. Because the video is 2 hours long, we had to cut it into several pieces, and I'm saying we because I have an amazing new editor, Jona Gottschalk. Thank you so much for helping me cutting these videos. This enables me to focus much more on my content. Thanks so much, Jona. Now I've been talking too much already. Let's kick this off.
I put together a bunch of slides if you want, but I'm thinking more of them as cards with a little prompt on it. This prompt could be a quote, an image, a word, a sentence. But my idea was that you choose one of these cards randomly. Mm-hmm. And if we want to impose a little time limit on it, we can just set a timer. And we can just flash this little card prompt. And I'm sure we'll get some associations and we can talk around that. Of course, with creative coding being the main topic. But then perhaps, shaking things up a bit, perhaps putting a little restrainer on ourselves so that we don't become too long-winded getting a chance to, discuss various topics. Cool. Well, there's, I prepared around, 40, 45-ish prompt cards. So we can just pick one. And I believe we should perhaps set a timer to like 10 minutes. Yeah. So that the discussion don't become too rushed. But I don't know, Tim, perhaps I should just pick one and let you go at it, because I know what I would be saying to some of them, at least.
Okay, that's cool.
I will be finding, let me see, randomly choosing this one.
So there's a person looking onto a thing, onto an object, and this kind of, this triggers something that I found extremely frightening, to be honest. There was an interview with Tristan Harris, who I highly admire. I really like his work very much. He's the head of the Center for Humane Technology. Some of you might know him from the documentation The Social Dilemma on Netflix, which is pretty amazing. You definitely should check it out. It's about social media. And he is very concerned about the problems that social media has, right? I mean, we all know that it's very addictive. It's very manipulative. There's so many problems that come along with social media. And there was one thought that I found super powerful. Mm-hmm. He said that our smartphones are nothing else than an interface between our brains, and this is here, the left, right? This is the person, right? Mm-hmm. And the largest supercomputer in the world. That means, as you know, Facebook and Google, they have giant computers there, right? Which calculate which posts you might look at the longest, right? So this is kind of a connection between you and a huge computer, and which is driven by super intelligent AI and algorithms that they're working on, since many years. And that was a thought I found very frightening, to be honest, and very clear. So, by the way, that's one of the reasons why I now use a dumb phone. Since 4 weeks or 3 weeks, I have a smartphone, but it has no SIM card. That means I cannot do calls with it. Mm-hmm. And I have to be in my flat and have wireless LAN to have access to my iPhone. Right, so that's very helpful, to be honest. I don't feel that much pressure to look into WhatsApp if somebody wrote something.
Great.
Yeah.
This deliberately dumbing down the phone and taking some of the smartness out of it, de-smarting it. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I love this low-tech thought. So I really like to see how it feels to work with some more low-level technologies and see what kind of results come out of that, right? Just like processing or P5JS.
It's a very, a nice way to deal with this, I don't know, to circumvent all of these dark patterns that have been deliberately designed to tap into like our psyche and our emotions and force us to like look at that screen ever so often. So turning away from that as a deliberate action, that I really like.
What does this graphic mean to you?
So when I'm looking at this slide, I'm seeing this person looking out into the world, and we have this convex lens shape dispersing his view out in different directions and different angles. And I think perhaps of this lens as being code literate, or code as a tool. If you put that in front of your view of the world, perhaps you will see things in new connections and a new light. You will be able to consider what surrounds you from new angles and new take on things, and perhaps also thinking up new ideas, dreaming up new ideas. Code, in my opinion, is something that enables you to look at places that you would otherwise not look if you weren't able to think in code or work with code.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely agree. That's very interesting. I'm very interested in what kind of places do you see, or what kind of perspectives do you get when you look through code? What pops up in your mind when you think that's what you've learned through working with code creatively?
Mm. I don't know. It kind of lends itself a bit to one of the other prompt cards that I had. And perhaps as you're editing this, you can just overlay that. But that's the one that is a screenshot from this Matrix movie. Sometimes, as I'm working with design or looking at design or visual communication in general, sometimes instead of seeing things for what they are, I kind of like my eyes glaze over a bit. And I start deconstructing it mentally into for loops and conditions and hex colors. And, it's kind of like getting a little bit of like damage from working with this for too long. But it kind of like shifts my perspective into trying to decompile my world around me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a positive thing, but still it sometimes sparks new ideas or prompts me to try and to recreate stuff to understand the underlying principles better. And but also, reading all of the wonderful literature that has been published in this day and age about code and people way more skillful than me, dreaming up new designs and exercises. I mean, code as a creative medium by Levin and Brain, just a treasure trove, cram-packed, full of wonderful exercises that is a much more, questioning the world around you, a critical stance to technology, all of these things that perhaps I'm not that inclined to look at myself. But, looking through the lens of code and reading about all these assignments really, I think as an educator, inspires me to come up with new assignments that include these aspects as well.
That's super, super interesting. I mean, creating assignments is also a topic we could talk about for hours. What I really like here is working with let's say the things that the processing foundation creates, like P5JS and processing, because the underlying message is also in these products, I would say products, even though they are not sold, they are for free, and that's great, is kind of to deconstruct things, as you just said. It's about looking at the world and understanding or having a tool to build positions or artistic positions onto recent developments in society. Just like I think the work of Lauren McCarthy is the best example for this, right? How code and technologies like P5.js could be used to create reflections on today's world. This is something I find personally super, very beautiful. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to learn more about creative coding, hit the subscribe button. And if you have decided to learn creative coding, you could possibly be interested in my Patreon community. So you get two things. First, you get access to all of my courses that I publish on my website, timrodenbrücker.de, and also to the Discord channel, the Discord server. And there are many people exchanging ideas and questions and answers about creative coding and beyond. So make sure you check that out. You can also join the Discord server without being a patron. Just a few channels will not be visible for you. And I would really love to welcome you in my Patreon community. Thank you so much and have a great day.